Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar, Future-Proofing Business Processes, bringing processes to life from modeling to mining to beyond, specifically for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and to meet the objectives of the mandates. My name is Daniel Hughes. I will be your host today. I am with Mindsy. We're a business process management platform that we'll talk a little bit about a little later on. As some housekeeping, I'll go through the presentation today. If you have questions, please add them to the Q&A, and I will attempt to answer as many as I can get to by the end of the presentation. Any that we can't get to, I'll have the team follow up and answer individually. You'll also receive a recording of the webinar once it's over. So no need to take notes. You'll have everything that I talk about right in your hand. So to get started, today I wanted to talk about the evolution of process management and how we've moved beyond static workflows to a realm of actually actionable intelligence. For many organizations, process modeling has been the foundation. You know, it's been the practice of mapping out how things should happen. But the thing is, modeling alone just is not enough anymore. You know, it shows us an ideal state. It shows us what we'd like to happen, but it doesn't reflect the reality of day-to-day operations. And that's where the game changes. When we shift from just modeling to monitoring. And by incorporating tools like process and task mining, we're no longer guessing about what's happening in our operations. Instead, we're uncovering the truth about how processes are actually performed. These tools can bring real-time visibility. You know, they pull data directly from systems to paint a complete, accurate picture of these workflows in action. And this evolution transforms processes into more than just guidelines. They actually become powerful engines for operational intelligence. And with the shift that's going on, organizations gain deeper insights into their operations. They can find inefficiencies, streamline workflows, and make data-driven decisions to drive productivity. Beyond efficiency, there's also compliance. Process monitoring ensures that every step of the process adheres to the regulations, adheres to internal policies, and reduce risk and fosters accountability. In today's fast-paced workplace, that kind of agility and transparency isn't just an advantage, it's actually a necessity. And the competitive edge for organizations that embrace this is very clear. You know, this comprehensive approach allows them to position themselves as leaders, armed with the knowledge to adapt, innovate, and excel. So today, I wanted to take you on a journey that transforms business processes from static documents that have been modeled to dynamic systems of continuous improvement and operational excellence. You know, each phase of the journey, from documenting to publishing, optimizing, and monitoring, builds on the last step and creates a feedback loop that drives growth, agility, and innovation. So let's look at each step of the journey in detail. And, you know, I'll even provide some examples as we go through it. So the first step is documenting the processes. This is where every organization typically starts. At this stage, the focus is on mapping out what needs to happen, trying to understand how it happened, and identifying who's responsible for each step. For example, imagine a manufacturing company that documents their production workflow. They start by identifying each step from receiving the raw materials to assembling the products to quality inspections. They might involve some flow charts, some detailed process maps, or even written procedures that clearly define the responsibilities and expectations of each team. The value here with process documentation is clarity. Teams now have a reference that ensures everyone understands the workflow. It reduces misunderstandings and provides a starting point for future improvements. There's a lot of tools to do this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Once the process is documented, you can't just sit them in a folder on somebody's desk. The next step is to actually publish them and get those processes made available and actionable to everyone inside the organization. Take, for instance, a customer service team. After documenting their ticket resolution process, they can upload that document to a knowledge base that's accessible by all employees inside and outside the customer support team. The documentation could include step-by-step guides, decision trees, even video tutorials as part of the process documentation. And by getting that information, publishing it on a platform like SharePoint or a dedicated process management tool, the team ensures that everyone has the resources that they need at their fingertips. And the results are pretty clear, right? So you have new hires that ramp up faster, you have cross-functional teams that work more effectively, and to let everyone in the organization is aligned to a single workflow that leads to smoother operations across all departments. Now that the processes are documented and accessible, the focus shifts to optimization of those processes. And this phase is about asking, how can you do this better, right? It involves analyzing workflows to identify inefficiencies, find bottlenecks, or find areas in the process that are ripe for improvement. An example, again, let's go back to a manufacturing company. After documenting and publishing their production workflow, they noticed that quality inspections are causing delays. They analyzed the data, and that they realized that the quality inspections are scheduled too late in the process. They're scheduled at the very end. So to optimize, they can introduce line quality checks at earlier stages and significantly reduce the rework and improve turnaround times. That real-time iterative refinement can be powered by tools like Lean Principles, Six Sigma, automation technologies, process intelligence, and things like that eliminate manual tasks. And optimization turns good processes into great ones and delivers measurable improvements in efficiencies, cost, and output. And then finally, the journey doesn't end with optimization. Processes that are optimized need to be monitored to ensure that the processes are delivering the results and they're staying relevant to the business. Monitoring provides real-time insights into how workflows perform in practice, helps organizations adapt to changes, and also maintain compliance. A good example is in financial services. So a financial services company might use process mining or process intelligence or even task mining tools to monitor their loan application process. By analyzing the system logs and all of the actions that users take on their desktops, they discover that certain loan applications are frequently delayed due to manual approval steps. With that data, they can implement automated decision making for low risk cases, and that speeds up the low risk cases and also allows for the high risk, the team that does the approvals to have more time to handle the high risk cases. Monitoring, is just not about identifying problems. It's about sustaining excellence. With dashboards and alerts, organizations can track KPIs, flag noncompliance, and continuously improve operations and real-world performance. So what's important to understand in this journey is documenting, publishing, optimizing, and monitoring is not linear. It's really a cycle of continuous improvement, with each phase feeding into the next one and driving operational intelligence. So why do this? One reason is that it aligns to regulations. As the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia advances towards the very ambitious goals of Vision 2030, the Saudi Digital Index has emerged as a critical framework for driving digital transformation. It measures progress across key dimensions such as operational efficiency, data-driven decision-making, and the adoption of advanced technologies. And the journey of documenting, publishing, optimizing, and monitoring aligns seamlessly with these mandates. So documenting, the processes ensures compliance, clarity, and strong foundation of governance. Publishing fosters transparency, accountability, and collaboration. Optimizing enhances efficiency and innovation, and monitoring enables data-driven decision-making and ensures continuous improvement. So the journey not only meets the digital index mandates, but it also positions organizations to thrive in a digital-first economy. So by aligning your processes today with these principles, organizations contribute to Vision 2030 objectives, but also enhance competitiveness and empower citizens and businesses to foster a culture of excellence. So what does that look like? What is the best approach to business process? And Mindsy has a platform to help you do this, starting with documenting, modeling, and publishing. The Mindsy platform and the best practices indicate that you should start with BPMN, ideally the 2.0 standard, since it's an accepted framework for modeling and allows you to use these models across systems. It allows you to streamline your training and compliance and gives you a framework to collaborate on all of the process models. Those BPMN 2.0 standard models are easily made available for approval and publishing, either into a proprietary or optimized repository, or to a standard repository like Microsoft SharePoint. Step 2 is a little bit more complex, right? Process modeling is pretty straightforward: subject matter expert interviews, time and motion studies, build out your map. But step 2 allows you to take that to the next level. What we recommend is companies identify or categorize their business processes into 2 different types. One is unmonitored process. These are processes that are less critical, but probably happen a lot in the organization. You could think of things like expense reporting or time off approvals, or HR type processes, even offboarding. or onboarding of employees. Doesn't happen every day. It's not necessarily critical to the mission of the organization, but you do want everybody in the organization on the same page for these. So these processes could end at this modeling stage. Let's model it, let's publish it out, have everybody have access to it so that we know everybody should know what to happen, but not something that we need to spend the time and effort to monitor. On the other hand, monitored processes are the ones that are critical for business function, or if not critical, at least are related directly to the finances of the organization. These could be patient flow in healthcare. It could be production lines in manufacturing. It could be new account openings or customer support and financial services, or it could be, financial back office like accounts payable, accounts receivable, procurement, or order management. These processes, if they aren't run effectively or aren't monitored, could lead to really bad outcomes for the organization overall. So once you've split or identified monitored and unmonitored processes, is focus your time on the monitored ones, on the critical ones that you need to ensure run smoothly for the health of the organization, and identify what are the SLAs, what are the service level agreements, what KPIs that you want to monitor for these specific processes, what systems and users are the ones that execute these processes most often, and then deploy technologies like process mining and task mining to monitor these processes in real time. Process mining allows you to monitor processes that are managed in transactional systems. So think systems like ERPs, SAP or Oracle, for example, CRMs, Salesforce or HubSpot, IT service management or service ticket systems, again, Salesforce or ServiceNow, or even HR. So process mining monitors all the backend data in these systems to give you a real-time view of how the process is executed. For other steps in those processes, or even other processes that aren't managed inside of these types of systems, task mining actually allows you to monitor user actions on the desktop. So think about things like spreadsheets or emails or system changes, or even working in third-party websites to do searches or copies or paste. So by combining the system level data with the user level data, process intelligence allows you to monitor all of the critical processes in the organization and see everything that happens, identify all the bottlenecks, all the loops, all the rework to ensure that your organization runs as a well-oiled machine. And then step 4 is to analyze and optimize. Over the last 12 months or so, huge steps have been made in artificial intelligence, specifically around generative AI. And today, generative AI, the large language models, can actually automatically analyze all of the data created from these monitoring technologies, process mining and task mining, and immediately act like a business analyst and tell you exactly where your issues are and what you should do to fix them. All you need to do is point the LLM, a specifically trained LLM, toward this data set and immediately get results. This allows you to use no code analysis to dive deeper into it, and allows the AI to generate reports that can be delivered to users on a scheduled basis. And each one of these AI generated reports can be customized to the individual receiving it as far as their roles, responsibilities, the types of information that they want to see. And it can also be delivered in any language around the world. So simply by pointing the artificial intelligence at the data, everybody in the organization can get customized insights to their business process and their role, which has made huge leaps and made process monitoring actionable by more organizations than ever before. And then step 5, now that you know exactly what happens in the organization, in every business process that you're concerned about, automated actions allow you to take action faster and more consistently on the information provided. So the simplest automated action is an alert and notification. So let's say that you have an order for a high priority customer that's blocked and can't be delivered for a delivery block. Well, maybe you want to alert somebody, maybe the account manager, the customer support manager, that their high priority customer is going to have a delivery that doesn't meet the expected delivery date, and they can take action on it. Or in a healthcare setting, you have a patient that you would like to discharge tomorrow, but there's a set of labs that need to be um, delivered and done before they can be discharged. Let's alert the discharge nurse and the lab operator that these labs need to be completed and that they're high priority, and allow them to take action on it. Alerts can be delivered by email, by Teams, by Slack, by text message, however is most appropriate for the employee that gets it. The other action that could happen is to trigger system updates. So these insights could identify that you have multiple invoices that have come in for the same order. So automatically the system could update the ERP and place one or both of those invoices on hold so that you don't duplicate pay. The same thing could happen with sales orders or customer support tickets. Maybe you have a customer that hasn't responded to a support ticket in 20 days. So the system could automatically close that ticket and alleviate some of that work and some of that thought that the employees have to have. It can also integrate to your existing RPA or workflow systems. So you have RPA that wants to take action, that needs to enter invoices, that needs to approve invoices, release sales orders, whatever it is that your workflow and RPA is doing. The automated actions can find insights from the monitoring the process and trigger the RPA to automatically take that action. So for instance, we can see that a high priority sales order hasn't been entered into the system. It's beyond the SLA that you set. So it could trigger the RPA to automatically notify someone, and RPA could enter the sales order in the system. So many things that RPA is really good at today that could be automatically triggered from monitoring. And then finally, every company that I know of has had business intelligence dashboards for a long time, or reports or things like that. So the automated actions can automatically publish any of the insights that it finds to your existing BI dashboards and reports, so that executives and users don't need to be trained on to go to another system to get the insights that we're creating. And then operational intelligence reports, again, uses the generative AI to take this beyond just KPIs, take it to narrative reports that in real time, in real natural language, can um, tell the users what's happening in the business process, what happened yesterday, what they should do today, and even allow them to interact with the AI through interfaces like Teams, Slack, or even email. So think if you got an operational report that says, here are the invoices that you need to process today. They're likely to end up in a late payment. And you ask the AI, well, which one should I work on first? I can't get to all of them today. And it resorts the list and gives you an update on the ones that you need. So interactive artificial intelligence that can be done through chat, through Teams, through Slack, or through email, and interacted with in any language, English, Arabic, um, any Turkish, any other language that you want to use. So by combining all of these technologies, process mining, task mining, actions, generative AI, into a single platform, process modeling as well, into a single platform, the Mindsy Studio provides for end-to-end process intelligence that can be used to meet the Saudi 2030 Kingdom of Saudi Arabia 2030 vision, and also some of the digital mandates. So we've been doing this a long time, recognized by many organizations like Gartner, KPMG, Gartner Magic Quadrant, Everest Peak Matrix, lots and lots of different industry recognition. And we have lots of customers around the world, from Motorola in manufacturing. Athene is a financial services company in North America, government agencies like Transport Canada, manufacturing organizations in Australia like Nufarm, consultants like Ancura, Alvarez and Marsal, Middle East companies like the Tourism Development Fund, King Faisal Specialist Hospital, Turkcell, and more and more and more. So one way to get started, again, my name is Daniel Hughes. I lead partnerships globally for Mindsy as well as sales. You can email me at that address right there. Or another way to get started is you can actually download a desktop version of our software directly from our desktop and use this to model your processes and to monitor processes with up to 1,000 cases. No charge, free forever, and use it directly on your desktop. So that is mindsy.com. You can find that download there, and get started today without any cost required at all. From there, you can expand into other versions, enterprise versions, that have unlimited power and unlimited capacity. So that's what I wanted to cover today. It looks like we have a number of questions in the chat. We're a little bit over time, but I'll at least take this first one, and then probably follow up on all the rest. But the first question has to do with deployment options, and it says, how is this deployed? Is this deployed in cloud or on premise? And which clouds is it available? So our software is available in multiple clouds. We host it around the world in different cloud environments, from Microsoft AWS to Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, Google Cloud, as well as in Saudi Arabia in the Oracle Cloud and the Alibaba Cloud. But most of our customers in Saudi Arabia deploy this on-premise behind their firewall. So this, as an enterprise platform, can be installed on virtual machines inside your firewall, and have access to it directly without the data ever being exposed to the internet or stored in the cloud. So those two options are available. And I've also mentioned the desktop edition so that you can download it, install it on a laptop, and have your own personal process modeling, process mining, and task mining application. So the rest of the questions, I will have the team follow up directly with the people who asked them. And with that, I appreciate the time. Please follow up with me directly if you have any other questions or you'd like to chat more. Thanks for your time, and we'll be in touch.